All right, guys. Hope you're having a great day. We're almost to the weekend, so sad day in the world of in the exploring community. A bunch of great guys went down there and attempted to do some exploring, and it didn't quite work out. So, prayers to the family of those guys. I mean, it is what it is. I'll touch on that here in just a minute. But man, is the Summer Wells case really slow right now? And I'm thinking, well, normally what happens is when the Summer Wells case gets really slow like this right now, somebody normally pops. It never fails. There's normally some kind of stuff that comes out that, whether it be, you know, um, I'm just gonna say stuff, but it's getting so slow that normally about this time frame we normally see something happen and it ends up being a big nothing burger. So, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we've seen it before, so keep your ears and keep your ears peeled because it's probably coming. We've seen the police at Dawn and Candace's hotel recently. Don't know what that was about. Everybody's saying, some YouTuber called them. Who knows? But all I'm saying is normally when the Summer Wells case gets really slow on YouTube like it is right now, something normally crazy happens and everybody's like, oh my God. And then it just ends up being a big nothing burger. So we'll see. We'll see if that ever happens. But it's getting to that point. I can see something kind of coming up and then in a couple of weeks it just fades back away. But back to the sub thing. Yeah, I've had a lot of people ask me, do you think that the company will be in a lot of legal trouble? And it could be. Anytime you have, people that, die in these situations, or any other situation, whether it be this at an amusement park. Say someone pays $200,000 to drive a NASCAR around the track, and they wreck, get killed. You know what I mean? The only thing I can really think of is, and it's sad. It's sad. I would, a lot. You got to stop and think. These guys died and doing what they love to do. Okay. And when you die doing what you love to do, it's hard for me to think, like if it was my uncle that was in that thing, I thought, well, he died doing what he loved to do. He knew the risks. Me, myself, I wouldn't think of suing a company. Not at first anyway, not less than. And this is the only way, guys, I can think of is if the company, like we start seeing a bunch of lawsuits with the families and stuff. Now, they could probably file a wrongful death. I don't know how that would work out. They could probably do a civil wrongful death thing against the company. But if the CEO of the company was putting, now here's a scenario I can see attorneys going after, and they'll probably dig into this if there's any lawsuits, but it's kind of like weighing things out. I mean, myself, if my uncle was on that sub and he died, I'd be like, well, he he knew the risks. He died doing what he loved to do. I'm gonna remember my uncle for that, and just let it be. No different than if my uncle loved NASCAR and he got the chance to drive the car around the track at 200 miles an hour. He knew the risks, and if he ended up wrecking the car, and killing himself, then I'd be like, he knew how dangerous it was. He's a grown man. He knows the risk. He's doing what he loves to do, even though it's risky. Now, the only thing I can see here is if the CEO was putting and pushing money over safety. And what I mean by that is, obviously these people were paying like $250,000 to go down there to the Titanic. I mean, it's not like they were paying, it's not like a helicopter ride in New York. They're paying like $250,000 to go down there. So, was the CEO in the company cutting corners, but yet at the same time making it sound like it had a stellar safety record, and that basically, we've got so many, we got backups for backups for backups. The hull, it's a state-of-the-art hull. It's 8 inches thick of titanium, yada yada yada. But at the same time, if they knew there were some things behind the scenes that wasn't up to par, the attorneys could probably go after that and say, well, they knew that the ship had these deficiencies, and yet they still portrayed the ship like it was stellar, state of the art. Basically, they told the customers, hey, you probably would win the lottery before this thing would implode. You know what I mean? But at the same time, they were probably like, now, anything is possible, but it would be rare because this thing is so well built. So if the company was saying that submersible was so well built that it would be rare for something to happen to it, when in fact they knew they were cutting corners, and it really was. Let's say it wasn't even fit to go down 2,000 feet. You know what I mean? So if the CEO knew about these deficiencies and still was pushing the money to come in and take people down and put them at a high amount of risk, then I can see the families suing the company for that, but again, the CEO's dead now. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the CEO was on the submersible. So, but I guess they could still sue the company even though the CEO's dead. This will probably be it for that company. I would definitely, I would dissolve the company. I couldn't, after this and everything, I would dissolve the company. Now maybe the people in the company, and here we are, if there's a lot of people that work for this company now, are they soon to be without a job? You know what I mean? Is that company going to go belly up? If they get sued, are these people going to be out of a job? Of course, these guys, these people that help build that, I'm sure they've got a lot of skills. They're engineers, CAD operators, yada yada. I'm sure it's not going to be hard for them to find a job, but it may be hard for them to find a job in the field of work that they want to do like this. This is probably like their dream job to have. And again, this takes me back to the Rust. Remember that movie Rust, where Alec Baldwin ended up shooting an actress on the set. Guys, hopefully the company wasn't cutting corners on that sub, but you start cutting corners, you start putting time over quality, start speeding through things. Hey, we got to get this done. We got to get this done, and pushing safety to the side. Then, something bad happens. You're going to have a lot of questions to answer, and it's just not going to be good. Ask Alec Baldwin and everybody on the set of Rust. It sounds like they were maybe pushing safety to the side a little bit, maybe a whole lot, and it ended up, causing a tragic circumstance on that movie set. So, that's the only way I can see if the company does get sued. But if they done everything they could do, if they, put all the safety stuff in place and made sure that Submersible was built, and they dotted their I's and crossed their T's and had an inspection like they should have had, then they literally took this thing seriously, and it wasn't all about bringing in the money. It was about the thrill of getting down there and really exploring, and just building a ship that is truly a modern marvel, because you're talking, the pressure down there, guys, is immense. The thing was built, from my understanding, out of titanium. Something failed. Don't know what happened. I'm sure we'll find out. Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if they'll be able to recover anything from down that deep. I'm sure the robotic or the remote control submersible that they've got, and it's unmanned, by the way, I'm sure they got some vacuums and some arms that they can retrieve stuff, maybe watches, wallets, glasses, stuff like that. Not sure how the people, I'm not sure how their bodies are going to be. That was a pretty, I hate to be gruesome, guys, but it's kind of like just squashing a cricket with your foot when you're down there that deep and that happens, and it's that quick too. It's literally that quick. The good thing is, at least they didn't suffer. I mean, they didn't suffer. That's probably the only good thing that come out of this. But I'm gonna monitor it, because I am a big exploring junkie. So we'll see where this goes, and hopefully, if the company did everything they were supposed to do and tried to make that sub the best it could be, and didn't put money over safety, I hope they don't get a lawsuit. But again, if they did put money over safety and cut corners on the ship, then it is what it is. And I do think, I hate people when they start cutting corners and putting safety, money over safety. I hate that. That's one of my pet peeves. I hate that, because something's gonna happen. It's just inevitable. Something's gonna happen, and sometimes it costs someone their life. Sometimes it don't. But I hate it. I seen many chemical spills in the Holston River from Eastman Chemical Plant, because it's like, that pipe's got another 20 years on it. We don't need to spend $100,000 running a new pipe across the river. That thing's got 20 more years on it, and then 2 days later it busts open and kills millions of fish for 50 miles down the Holston River. I've seen it happen twice. So, but yeah, that's my big pet peeve, guys. I hate people that put money over safety, So let me know what you think. And again, stay tuned, because there's probably, with Summerwell's case being so slow right now, there's some crazy shit that's probably going to come out. And just remember, like all the other stuff that we've seen in the past, you want to ask yourself, is it coming from a reliable source? as the as the person ever put out crazy shit in the past, stuff like that. But we've seen it all the way through this investigation, and it's just another part of the circus, the YouTube circus in the Summer Wells investigation. I hate saying that, but it is. But it's about that time again, I think, folks, because it's her. Nobody's really talking about her case on YouTube right now, and there's not really much to talk about. I mean, there's no news. I mean, we can keep her name out there and just keep talking about the family life, how bad that was for the kids and this and that. But I mean, other than that, and not much really going on until we hear from the police. And Ronnie Lawson did say hopefully here soon he'll have an update. But again, how soon is soon, you know what I mean? So hope you guys enjoyed the little episode. Appreciate you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you on next video. Peace.